the Mystics were moving the 2 games that were coming to their town with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. They were moving them to Baltimore. I'm just going to point it out for all of you. This is Angel Reese's home stomping grounds, by the way. So moving to...
You thought the Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese rivalry was just about basketball? Think again. Now it's bigger than the game. It's city versus city. The Washington Mystics just made a bold move, shifting their home games against Clark's Indiana Fever to none other than Angel Reese's backyard, Baltimore, Maryland. Let's be real, this is a straight-up money move by the Mystics, but Reese's fans are hyped. The real question is, why not move the games to Washington's Capital One Arena like last season? Or did they just set Reese up for a potential disaster in her own city? Either way, this is about to be WNBA drama at its finest, and we're here for every bit of it. Buckle up, it's about to get crazy.
Hey, see ya there. Now, the Indiana Fever stated venue change. Our regular season game on May the 28th on September 7th at the Washington Mystics are moving to CFG Arena in Baltimore, bruh. So as y'all can see here, say game location change, CFG Bank Arena, Baltimore, Maryland. CFG Bank Arena, Baltimore, Maryland. Somebody said, could it be the Mystic owner doesn't want the Caitlin Clark shine to be seen?
Angel Reese's fans are in full meltdown mode, and honestly, it's comedy gold. Caitlin Clark is about to roll into Reese's hometown not once, but twice this season, and her supporters are losing it. This is the Caitlin Clark effect in action, and let's be real, it has nothing to do with Reese's overhyped antics. The WNBA has never seen a player take over the spotlight this fast, and when she steps onto the court in Baltimore, the proof will be undeniable.
Official release, straight from the NBA website, man. Indiana Fever 2025 road games at Mystics moved to Baltimore. So Angel, man, I mean, listen, y'all made a big deal 2 weeks ago about a Caitlin Clark billboard being put up in Chicago, the Windy City, the 3rd largest city in the country. Of course, they're gonna have Caitlin Clark billboards. What are y'all gonna do about this? Baltimore. Be more careful. 2 games. Oh my.
Chicago fans already got a preview of what's coming when Caitlin Clark made her first appearance there. The atmosphere was electric, the arena was packed, and the energy was off the charts. But let's be real, people weren't filling those seats to watch Angel Reese brick jumpers and throw fits on the court. They came for the main event. Caitlin Clark putting on a show and proving why she's the biggest thing to happen to the WNBA in years. This league has been waiting for a true game changer, someone who can pack arenas and bring real excitement. And no, that doesn't come from Reese's over-the-top celebrations after another forgettable performance.
Her attention, her notoriety is based off Caitlin Clark. Because she wins the national title, first thing she does, she mocks Caitlin Clark. And then she doesn't even celebrate with her teammates. So she's made it personal with Caitlin Clark. Then she's played off.
Sky fans who have somehow convinced themselves that Angel Reese is the future of the WNBA are getting a harsh reality check every time Caitlin Clark comes to town. Reese's supporters have spent months hyping her up as the next big star, but here's the truth. How can you be the face of the league when no one outside your bubble is paying attention? The only time Reese goes viral is when she's complaining, missing easy shots, or stirring up unnecessary drama. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out here breaking records, selling out arenas, and bringing a whole new audience to the WNBA. The difference couldn't be clearer.
Thin line between hate and facts. And what I believe to be the case is that there was incremental growth in the WNBA comparatively to the exponential growth we are seeing now. What I'm about to tell y'all I haven't heard before, so I doubt you have either. Before the 2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership.
Here's the funniest part. Rival teams are finally admitting what the rest of us already knew. The WNBA is thriving because of Caitlin Clark. Before she arrived, the league struggled to get attention. Now, arenas are packed, TV ratings are soaring, and suddenly every team wants a piece of the spotlight. And let's be real. It's not because Angel Reese is putting up a double-double against weak competition. It's because Caitlin Clark is a once-in-a-generation talent who turns every game into must-see TV.
A lot of people say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle. She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor. It's history, right? But off the floor, my goodness, she and the Indiana Fever accounted for 45% of all the broadcast value of the WNBA last season. She accounted also for helping drive the numbers of merchandising up 500%. Of course, her jersey was number 1.
Chicago fans are holding on to a fantasy, trying to convince themselves that Angel Reese is on Caitlin Clark's level. But let's be honest, Clark is out here sinking deep threes like it's nothing, making impossible passes and delivering highlight reel moments every single game. Meanwhile, Reese, she's putting in the effort, no doubt, but there's a big difference between being a hustle player and being a true superstar. The WNBA is a business, and when it comes to driving ticket sales, merchandise, and TV ratings, the choice is obvious. It's not the player celebrating after making a routine free throw.
Jeez. Man. Y'all were mad about that billboard a couple of weeks ago. The Reese's Pieces were. I mean, I just... This is going to annoy Angel. I know it is. And I know that they had to because the MCI Center, whatever, Verizon Center is under renovation. But still,
and it's not just the fans struggling with this reality. The Chicago Sky organization is in a tough spot too. They have to promote Angel Reese as their franchise player, but every time Caitlin Clark steps into their arena, she steals the show. The sold-out crowds, the skyrocketing jersey sales, the viral highlights, it's all about Clark. Meanwhile, Reese's supporters are scrambling to make sense of it, insisting she's great for the culture. But last time we checked, culture alone doesn't keep the lights on.
Let me tell you about Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark has brought so many eyes to women's basketball that it's amazing. A dude named Acho, I forgot his first name, is something Acho.
Emmanuel Acho.
Yeah. He showed how in 5 days before the draft, she made the WNBA more money than they would have made in the next 5 years.
You know what really matters? Viewership and revenue. And Caitlin Clark is delivering both like no one else. WNBA teams are catching on fast. They see what Clark is doing for Indiana, and now everyone wants a piece of the action. This league has never seen this level of national attention before, and let's be real. It's not because Angel Reese is grabbing rebounds. Clark's presence alone turns regular season games into must-watch events. She's transforming casual viewers into diehard fans, while Reese's supporters are left facing the harsh reality that their favorite isn't the main attraction.
It's been hard for me, but adjusting and just kind of have that mindset of like just moving on has been something I try to give myself a little bit of grace.
Let's talk about the excuses, because wow, there's always a new one when Reese struggles. First, it's that she's young. Then, it's that she just needs more time. And of course, there's the classic she's still adjusting. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is getting triple teamed, hacked every time she touches the ball, and still dropping elite numbers. Funny how one player keeps getting excuses while the other just goes out and proves, night after night, why she's the biggest thing to hit the WNBA in years.
Preseason game, Brazil versus the preseason game against the Brazilian national team, sold out in 36 minutes, 15,000 fans. There's tickets for that game, upwards of $4,500.
Reese's fans are in full meltdown mode, and honestly, it's hilarious. They're screaming, why? Why isn't Angel getting the same treatment? Why aren't teams going all out for her too? Simple answer, she's not Caitlin Clark. Clark is selling out 10,000-seat arenas in minutes. Every city she steps into turns into a must-see event. The Fever's ticket sales are skyrocketing, and opposing teams are literally moving games to bigger venues just to handle the insane demand to watch her play. Meanwhile, Reese's fans are left wondering, where's our sold-out stadium?
All over. I mean, a lot of these tickets are crazy. But I'm just like, it's not even about the price for me. I'm just thinking about, like, I'm comparing the Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky, because they said that it was like Me Too. Like, you guys are watching women's basketball because of Me Too. I mean, bro, everybody could get into this. Like, literally everybody could get into this game.
Here's a reality check. No one is relocating games for Angel Reese. No teams are scrambling to secure bigger venues because ticket demand is off the charts. The unrivaled league experiment already proved one thing. When Caitlin Clark isn't involved, the buzz just isn't there. Reese's fans keep waiting for the world to treat her like basketball royalty, but the truth is undeniable. There are levels to this. Clark's impact is real, measurable, and unstoppable, while Reese is still playing the role of the loudest voice in the room, demanding respect she hasn't fully earned. Fans aren't rushing to buy tickets just to see Reese. Franchises aren't expanding arenas for the chance to watch her play, and that right there is the biggest difference.
Reese may be playing in the league, but who wants to see a goofy 6'6" woman miss layups? Not I.
Sheila Johnson, the owner of the Washington Mystics, really thought she was making a bold statement with that speech about Caitlin Clark. She stood up there talking about how the media needs to spread the attention around and how the league shouldn't revolve around just one player, acting like she was standing up for the overlooked stars of the WNBA. Fast forward a few weeks, and now her team is moving games to a bigger arena. Why? Because of Caitlin Clark. So let's get this straight. When it fits the narrative, Clark is just another player, nothing too special, right? But the moment ticket sales start skyrocketing, suddenly, she's the biggest thing to ever happen to the Mystics. The contradiction is wild. If this was really about uplifting all WNBA players, why weren't they moving to bigger venues before?
The Washington Mystics owner Sheila Johnson goes on CNN and says that the entire WNBA should have been put on the cover of Time magazine. It is hard to get away from this conversation because it just keeps making national news. And to be frank, I've never seen a story in the WNBA get as much widespread coverage as this is getting. I honestly can't wait until the season's back in so we can get more about basketball talk. But back to this.
So last night we read Time magazine where Caitlin Clark was named Athlete of the Year. Why couldn't they have put the whole WNBA on that cover and said, the WNBA is the league of the year because of all the talent that we have? Because when you just keep singling out one player,
Why weren't these games selling out before? Oh, that's right, because Angel Reese and the others weren't drawing these kinds of crowds. Sheila, 1 minute you're preaching about giving other players their due, and the next you're cashing in on Caitlin Clark's ticket sales like you just hit the jackpot in Vegas. The hypocrisy is loud. If the WNBA got $1 every time someone tried to downplay Clark while secretly profiting off her, the league would be making NBA-level revenue by now. It's the same cycle every time. They refuse to give Clark her credit, yet she's the one packing arenas, bringing in new fans, and setting record-breaking interest in the league. And now, the same people who rolled their eyes at her hype are scrambling to restructure their entire business model just to get a piece of it.
But I've got a theory that Sheila Johnson is trying to do two things here. Number one, she's trying to screw Indiana Fever fans and Caitlin Clark fans. 6,000 less tickets available. Number two, while lining her pockets even more. Now, you might be like, well, Rhodes, I don't get it. Well, it's simple. Less tickets means the gate prices, all right? The gate prices for the game will actually go up. In other words, just like that preseason game, they got has got tickets for $4,500. A run-of-the-mill game like this, even we all know Caitlin Clark tickets are
Let's just be real, Sheila. You're not fooling anyone. You can talk all day about spreading attention across the league, but deep down, you know exactly who the real attraction is. That's why your team is moving games. That's why you're chasing this revenue surge. Caitlin Clark isn't just a trending name, she's the future. You can deny it all you want, but don't forget to keep cashing in while you do. Her impact is so massive that she just sold out her first Indiana Fever preseason game against Brazil in under an hour. Yet somehow people are still confused about why she gets all the attention. Do they need a full PowerPoint presentation? It's simple. Caitlin Clark is a once-in-a-generation player, and the demand for her is through the roof. Fans didn't just buy tickets, they literally crashed the ticketing system. Meanwhile, other WNBA players are practically begging people to show up to their games like they're handing out free barbecue in the neighborhood.
Caitlin Clark doesn't just move the needle, she is the needle. And if you need any more proof of that, the Indiana Fever exhibition game sold out in just about 30 minutes.
And let's be real, nobody is louder in their delusion than Angel Reese's fan base. They genuinely believe she deserves the same reaction as Caitlin. That's like expecting a local garage band to sell out Madison Square Garden. Clark has people who never watched a second of women's basketball before suddenly tracking every Fever game, every stat, every record she's breaking. Reese? Not so much.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize.
Let's be honest, no one is more out of touch than Angel Reese's fan base. They seriously think she should be getting the same level of attention as Caitlin Clark. That's like expecting a small-town garage band to sell out Madison Square Garden. Clark has people who never cared about women's basketball before suddenly tuning in to every Fever game, checking every stat and watching her shatter records. Reese? Yeah, not quite the same story.
Meanwhile, Reese's supporters are acting like she's owed that same energy. Why? Because she taunted Caitlin once? Because she does TikTok dances? That's not enough.
Caitlin Clark is proving she's the biggest name in the WNBA, and the numbers don't lie. Every time she steps on the court, it's a full-blown spectacle. National media coverage, sold-out arenas, and fans lining up for hours just for a chance to see her play. Meanwhile, Reese's supporters act like she deserves the same hype. Why? Because she once taunted Clark? Because she posts TikTok dances? That's not how it works. Clark is out here delivering must-see performances night after night. Reese? She's just along for the ride.
Hundreds in there. Don't play with them. There's some hundreds in there. Do not play with the Chicago Sky. There are hundreds in there. You see this? Okay. Oh, here goes the Indiana Fever. Wow.
Clark is being mentioned alongside all-time greats, breaking viewership records and forcing networks to rethink their WNBA coverage. Meanwhile, Reese's fans are still trying to push the idea that she's on the same level. Spoiler alert, she's not. One player is selling out arenas in minutes, while the other isn't generating nearly the same excitement. Clark is the one driving the conversation, earning praise from NBA stars, drawing in casual fans, and inspiring the next generation. That's what true star power looks like.
While Reese fans are still out here trying to convince the world she's on the same level. Spoiler, she's not. One player is selling out arenas in minutes. The other isn't generating anywhere near the same buzz.
Reese's fans are acting like there's some grand conspiracy against her, but let's be real. The truth is simple. Caitlin Clark is the reason people are invested. She brings excitement to the game, sells out arenas, gets fans buying jerseys, and keeps viewership soaring. Reese? She gets people debating on social media. That's the difference. The numbers don't lie, and the public sees it clearly. Clark is on a whole different level. Reese's fans can keep trying to spin the narrative, but the reality isn't changing. They can throw tantrums, write think pieces, and push the Angel is the face of the WNBA agenda all they want, but facts don't care about feelings. Clark is here, and the attendance, ratings, and media coverage all prove it. So go ahead, Reese supporters, yell into the void, cry about unfair treatment, or convince yourselves that it's just media hype. None of it changes the reality. Caitlin Clark is back, and once again, Angel Reese is just another player watching greatness happen right in front of her. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on your screen, and we'll see you in the next one.